Storm, but it is still a stun. Slardar, Chronosphere, and even the Bolas can be fairly strong, the Searing Chains. So having Total Disable is a good strong point. And actually every single hero in this game have Disable of some form. That's fun to see. Even, I mean, Brewmaster would have to commit his ulti, but it's very stun-heavy lineups from both teams.
Gonna see how the lanes work out here in just a minute. This Universe is gonna be playing the Elder Titan, so they're not gonna be playing Sport Elder Titan, it's Sport Naga.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this kind of makes recently, yeah.
This makes more sense because I don't think I've seen Universe play Brew much, if at all.
That's true. That's true. They have played Naga support recently. I can't remember in what tournament that was, but I did see that game as well.
And MVP, they always change their roles around. It's going to be Heen off lane this game on the Faceless Void. And I think they actually just play the hero as opposed to playing the lane, which I still think is probably the better way to do it, just because even if you're a good offlaner, if you have no experience on a hero, that's, I think, more detrimental than maybe not having experience on a particular lane. And
yeah,
MVP seem to always delay stuff even when they're massively behind just because of the experience that they have.
They do.
Mercy, please.
Mercy, please. And QO this time, of course, playing the starter instead of the Ember Spirit, even though he was the Ember in the game yesterday where they got raxed 20 minutes in and kept playing till 65 minutes despite that. So QO, I'll leave it to 4F this time on Ember.
March picking up an illusion rune here. Pretty annoying to deal with, but...
And Witch Doctor's harass is fairly annoying overall. Like, just the fact, sure, he has 0 armor, but very often he will either stun your face or start healing himself while clicking you. So Fear might take some harass here to secure the early lane of QO. Even gonna go for some heavy damage here.
Ouchie.
Look at that, man. Fear just getting punched.
Yeah.
They actually almost killed him. He's at 48 HP and all he has are shared tangos.
Yeah, shared tangos are not gonna do you much here. He does send out a salve immediately, knowing that he can't get to the bottle safely with this. He also went for a stout shield. Probably the stout shield saved his life, to be honest.
Yeah.
But this is gonna make it very hard. Oh, look at March. So smart? No, okay. Fear backs up and picks up the bottle, but March wanted to get the kill on the courier, I believe.
That would have been
something.
Well, he still breaks the salve. I mean,
yeah,
he didn't get the full HP from it. He got most of it.
Like 100 damage illusion attack, if you think about it that way.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Heen contesting the pull here in top lane. Hasn't actually distributed any skills just yet, and he has a boatload of regen.
He does.
Dang.
I mean, this is actually the smart way to build it, because against Venge and Naga, they're going to be constantly harassing, but you're not going to die super quick. You're just going to be forced to eat some damage to make sure you get EXP.
Yeah. Starter has a scary weapon, man, just looking at him. Has 15 demons in prison. How does that even work, man?
I don't know.
How does
I've never captured a demon myself.
How do you... Okay.
Huh?
So
how do you level that up?
I'm not sure.
You capture demons, man.
Yeah.
I think that you must have to kill someone who is a demon or have demons.
Probably.
Bounty we're going to be secured here by March. They're going pretty hard here on Zai. PPD's sitting in the back with a stun ready.
No RNG bash, sadly for them. Of course, level 1,
Yeah,
so...
he's saving it up. He's saving it up.
Oh yeah, better use that bash in the late game. Universe already rotating here because he's having a very hard time on offlane. And, you know, feeling that his job was done on bottom lane. Ryzen is here. Damage is being dealt to Fear.
Yeah,
oh, Stomp coming in, hits on
Oh
all three!
my god!
What a player! QO is gonna pop sprint, eats a thunderclap, the next crush will go off. First blood going the way of MVP, but Universe manages to secure the kill on QO. Well, he dies to the tower, but he does make sure that the hero goes down. PPD wanting to land a stun here, not quite fast enough, and
still perfectly fine getting that kill. You could argue that it's not worth as much since Fear has been struggling and, you know, he's a little bit lower. And losing your Slardar when you're dominating this hard on mid lane already is sort of a bad thing. So I guess it's a fairly even trade despite it being a first blood.
Yeah, I mean, the golden experience difference was negligible at best, so.
Yeah.
And I mean, the cool thing is for Universe there is he was the recipient of the solo experience of a mid, kind of, which is really cool for him because his lane was going terribly up until this point.
And he has his Tranquils now, so he can happily just, you know, walk down to his bottom lane and try to give it another go.
Do you think PPD stays here now and Sits with Fear for a while.
He might just, you know, hold his hand a little bit and let him farm up. Does get the bottle, so I think Fear is going to be just fine. And more than anything, you want to get experience onto Brewmaster now. So Bench should probably leave again.
A minute ago, he was 0-1, and now he's 11-2, so it's helping a bit, I think.
Yeah.
Having that buddy system.
Well, it's not necessarily that MVP can kill that well with their heroes on a brew. It's just that Fear wasn't full HP when they decided to like fully commit to the kill. And there were 3 heroes there, so.
Oh, nice blue rune here by QO. Gonna pick that up and go on farm on the mid lane. Dean trying to bait here on top lane.
Oh yeah, this could be a bit of trouble top.
Yeah, they have smoked up here, so there's no way of knowing really that they're already sitting behind the secret shop or behind the side shop.
Zai's slithering his way over there. Doesn't see anything
Seems
just yet.
safe. Like, okay, this seems legit. No one is here. But they're so patient, but no one is revealing themselves on bottom. Universe has to be calling this like they're not here. And pretty safe play. Look at how tight EG are playing when they are unaware.
Yeah.
They're just sitting with all 3 on the safe lane together. Now splitting up a little bit, but still in fairly safe region.
I think they're just prioritizing like the safety of their lanes, because if the Storm gets a good start, I mean, granted, Arteezy opts to go for Bloodstone instead of going for the Orchid, but if he's able to snowball, the Storm is one of those heroes that becomes just an absolute terror.
Yeah.
In pretty much any game.
Like
Now, maybe walking forward here, he's into a pull. Nice time on the stun. He not able to time walk away from that one. Ends up dropping, and Snare goes off. 2 overload auto attacks coming out of Arteezy. He's going to throw a 3rd.
Oh, wow,
Are they going to be able to get 2? Looks like they will.
Showing some strength there of this lane. Of course, 2 points into the Wave of Terror and 2 points into Riptide. That's a lot of minus armor already. -7 armor, and Storm just showing how hard he can hit through that. So, strong play, no doubt. And that was MVP committing their supports going off lane, not pulling and getting experience, trying so long to fight the enemy, and in the end just dying with 2 and backing off. Now they rotate over a ward. Cannot really catch a break in their rotation.
Double damage, March. He gets the coconut. No level 6 on Fear. This should be an easy kill here for EG. Teleport reaction coming in. It's going to be Zai. Is he going to be able to get any rebuttal here? Goes in for the Riptide. Doesn't waste the ensnare on the first kill. They actually managed to get 2. EG having 3. Oh, well, 2 of their supports, 1 offlaner here towards the lane.
Just got mad.
Oh no, the vision. He can't get it, but he's a little bit faster. He's quite a bit faster.
That ward placement
Oh,
from Zai.
Fireman is angry.
Yeah, that's high-level searing chains, by the way. He's actually opting to level it over his flame guard at the moment. The stomp and hits on both.
Universe with the clutch plays here. Fear TPs in and gives a little bit of a drink to PPD for his efforts. Of course, the instant TP bottle giveaway. So in your charges.
Top lane, Soul Ring falls away. He's gonna try to juke here, but he does have the amplified damage. Looks like he'll have more than enough mana to get away from that.
I was about to say he doesn't have enough mana to get away. Then I saw he has a Soul Ring, and like, okay, he's fine. So EG just 5 kills already, and most of them by counter initiations. So really well played, reacting to MVP's ganks.
Honestly, with this kind of a laning phase, I would actually say that EG are about in the same position that they were in game number 1, where I feel like their team has a really easy time like dictating the tempo until Heen becomes a threat, really, which is going to be a long time because you kind of want Treads, Mask of Madness, and another item. The thing is, if you just have Treads, Mask of Madness, and a safe lane Void at like 9-10 minutes, that's actually pretty dangerous. But if you have it at like 15 or 16 minutes, or maybe even later, depending on how bad your lane goes off lane, not nearly as scary.
Yeah. But, I mean, the farm is going the way of MVP. Looking over to the hero stat, 50 CS against 45 for the safe laners, 36 for 26 on the mid laners, and 14 against 3 on the off laners. So they're still ahead in terms of gold, just very barely. It's dead even, actually. And experience slightly ahead of MVP, despite the 2-5. So I think they're not that far behind, but it's more about the fact that they're struggling when it comes to finding anything with their supports.
Yeah. That is a big difference. Zai's 2,100 net worth comparative to the 900 and 1,500 of the Ogre and the Witch Doctors, so...
Yeah, Zai is having a great time on this Naga.
He's gonna get amped again. And I think that's another thing, too, that's important to point out, is one of their supports actually transitions into a semi-core, if not a full core, which is pretty terrifying, honestly, because if he ever gets a Radiance, which I'm pretty sure Zai has done himself in the later stages of the game, just transitioning to pushing out all the lanes, suddenly it becomes harder for MVP because their wave clear is going to be decent with 4Ev, but he's really the only one who has it.
Yeah, but I'm not sold on the support Naga trying to transition into pushing out lanes and carrying to any extent against an Ember. It's definitely difficult.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's gonna be tough still.
Well, I guess we'll see sooner or later. He's jumping forward here. He's going to find Heat. He does have Spear, though. Just thinking about turning around and dropping it. Making it a little obvious, though. Arteezy's fully committing to this. He really wants this kill on March. Gets one more Overload auto attack off, but unfortunately it's not quite enough.
Yeah, and see a lot of rotations up here, but now gonna have to run back, I think, with QO, because else Fear is just having a great time on mid lane meanwhile.
Tower is under attack.
And the ward scouted them out so early as well with the rotations top.
Oh, QO missing his stomp here. Wanted to try to get some harassment and Fear with a deny.
It's an amazing skill though. It has 8-second cooldown, so if you miss it, doesn't matter that much. It's also a 2.5-second stun and 2 seconds slow after that. So I think Slithering Crush is one of the best disables in the game, to be honest.
It's definitely up there. The biggest problem that Slardar has is, even though his base armor is really high, Sprint makes you just explode. I think that's really the problem that he suffers from, because he kind of needs to use it in the early game, but when you do use it, you're putting yourself in a very precarious situation most of the time.
Yeah.
Especially when you're sprinting into like Elder Titan, Clap, and then you have Magic Missile to worry about as well, and a Storm. You just flop over.
He's also a semi-carry version of Centaur, but without the ulti. And Centaur without ulti just doesn't sound too impressive. And add semi-carry to that, and it's like, meh. It's, you know, sure, the amplified damage can be amazing in some games, but it's not as impressive as the Stampede, which is really what makes Centaur such a great hero and buffs a lot to the war stomp. Mid once again. MVP with the plentiful rotations here.
Oh, he's going to walk high ground right into Heen and Ryzen. Spear going to be dropped. Killing him so slow. They need to kill him faster. The split stops. Here comes the song.
The song of his people. And meanwhile, Witch Doctor goes down to Storm Spirit. The split goes off as well. Got to try and kill off the courier.
The courier was just chilling there.
Oh yeah,
no one microed it. So that's a bit unfortunate. They're going to lose Ryzen here. 4Ev actually getting a kill on PPD in the meantime and top when they decided to TP out.
Oh, why did you go back in here? Maybe you can get caught out if they have TPs, but they actually don't. So QO just going to give it a walk away, or I guess Slither. He's perfectly fine. Oh, he's walking into a lot here. Plenty of damage from the Storm. Gonna be fine, I guess.
Well, he's got a Soul Ring still. Turns around, gets the bash. He's continuing to chase.
He is
still
not
10
scared,
seconds
man.
left on the full, and he's going to be able to walk away from this.
Oh, all the mana used.
Not getting close enough.
Witch Doctor, March knows that every single bit of mana is used into the death ward. He tries for it, but the vision is gone. He's just
he just did enough to get over the hill.
My God. That is so depressing.
Yeah, that is really sad to see for Heen.
These stumps, though.
For March, of course.
All right, so 4Ev, he's got phase and drums, has a remnant out to retreat to. PPD and Zai not going to be able to make much happen in that regard. And Fear again, and that middle lane, Ryzen throws the Fire Blast, Ignite to follow it up, the Clap comes, no TP incoming just yet from EG, but Universe is nearby. Unfortunately, he did not have mana to stomp.
Yeah. Showing off how the amplified damage
he had Soul Ring.
definitely helps quite a bit.
Maybe he just thought he was dead anyway. Level 1 stomp is only 1 second or 2 seconds to disable, right? 2 seconds?
Also,
It's a one.
he can always
Yeah,
just
it's
sprint and run away, right?
2-second disable, and 4Ev trying to find anyone here. The song is still on long cooldown, does miss the Searing Chains combination, but QO has a haste rune. No need to use the sprint now.
Yeah, there's no song either, so pretty dead Nagasar.
Dead Naga lady.
The ganks are working out a little bit now for QO, for MVP in general here. PPD just casually staying. Because why not, right?
PPD is,
Now he's like, okay.
he's like, I'm not in the best spot right now.
Yeah. Just decide to do the TP out. No shame in that.
I wonder how long it's going to take Arteezy to finish this Bloodstone. The last time we saw him play Storm, he actually finished it like 15 minutes. Just pretty darn fast. And then he just immediately starts fighting. And then I think he ended up buying an additional Soul Ring after the Bloodstone.
I think it might be, no, he actually went for the immediate Orchid after Bloodstone.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I expected that
he
he would though,
yeah.
because going for an extra Soul Ring after Bloodstone makes a lot of sense. But I think he's going for the Orchid first, and he is. He does not go for the Bloodstone this game. Orchid is amazing against Ember.
Yeah, but he
It's
also
really good.
played against a team that an early Orchid would have been equally good against, I would say, in this game.
That's true.
And he still opted to go for Bloodstone. So I wonder what made him change his mind between the two games.
I have to pick his brain on that one after this game is over. Harass the pro players as much as possible on LAN.
Yes.
Not really. They're fine.
Oh, come on. We treat them like kings here. They
Yeah.
get all their food brought to them, basically.
We should harass them.
There's like massage table in the back.
Yeah.
Jeez,
We should
where?
open one.
Yeah, it's
It's the
process
wagon table.
Ugh.
I'll steal the rune here from QO. Takes the bounty. I think he's going to be forced to spend all of his mana just running away from this one.
This
They're
is
still
exactly
chasing,
what you
though.
were talking about.
QO is so fast.
he is extremely fast. But it's available and he gets
Oh,
him.
buddy.
That's a blow to your self-esteem as a Storm Spirit, being chased down by an angry fish.
I mean, level 1 ball is not really that impressive, right?
Oh, it's pretty slow. Also, if he jumped another path, maybe he could have gotten away, but in the end, a sprint level 3, now level 4, starter chasing after you with Blink Dagger, it's fairly hard to get away from.
So MVP are actually totally outmaneuvering EG right now. They just forced a panda split top with Forev, and he was able to get away scotch-free. In the meantime, they're just 3 people mid, attacking at tier 1. They killed Arteezy, who I think is probably like maybe priority number 1 right now in terms of being able to kill.
It's a massive kill.
And they are doing an insane job.
Could want to sing a song here and try to get something done. Gonna try for the end snare, but of course, just blinking away. So amazing start really this time for MVP. Fear finally does get up to his Blink Dagger. 15-minute blink from mid lane is definitely nothing you brag about, but he does have it at least.
Well, we have to be fair, right? Like, he didn't have the easiest lane.
Definitely not.
They were hugging him for a long time on the side of MVP. Now it's Blink 4, they're going on Arteezy again. They're just gonna throw a sphere over this. The multi to follow it. He just explodes.
Dude, he got
Nice stomp coming in from Universe. Are they going to be able to follow this up? The clap to 15, trying to teleport out, get swapped by PPD. They'll end up trading it.
That's
a
a
2
big
for 1.
return kills, yeah, really massive. At least Q or Forev is split pushing. I automatically say QO as it's an Ember Spirit.
Yeah, but it's
pushing on mid
Forev.
lane.
I always do the same thing when people switch heroes.
Yes. You play one hero and it's yours, god damn it. Don't swap.
So it's 7-9 here. EG maintain a small kill lead, but I mean, really, you got to hand it to MVP. They've just been doing an excellent job of always keeping the pressure up on the heroes that need to be pressured. Like Arteezy's died twice in a row now. PPD actually getting caught out here completely. He was actually, I'm not even sure what he was doing there because did he have any wards?
He did have a ward, so he wanted to go in and drop one, but didn't find it in the end.
There's the gimme rune right there.
Do you think that there's a point to be made about killing Storm, trading 2 for 1? Sure, it's not the best, but you shut down a Storm a little bit, who has a very important key timing.
Yeah. I think it is actually pretty important. Because he's a safe lane Storm who doesn't have an Orchid at 16 minutes in. Now, granted, he spent 600 or... He bought a bottle, and then he bought a Soul Ring.
Yes.
And he still only has 1 Oblivion staff, and he's about halfway to his second one. So I would say this Orchid timing is going to be like 19-20 minutes.
Yes.
Which is pretty lackluster in comparison to what a safe lane Storm you would expect out of, right?
And that's the massive, given that he doesn't have to TP anywhere or help anyone right now, and also that he doesn't get picked off again. So it's not too impressive. But MVP looking pretty happy right now. Starting to tank up a lot as well. Double Bracer on the Witch Doctor. And of course, Ogre is innately very strong. Ogre Club over on Vardar. I guess Void is no surprises him going for a Master Madness. Maybe not tanking up on that hero.
I think the Mask of Madness is going to be doubly effective on a team with a Slardar. Like, if you amp a hero and then you go inside with the Mask of Madness and a Void, you just punch somebody to death. Like, you don't even need to bash at that point. You're just dealing so much damage. And QO being a level 11 now has a level 2 ulti, which is minus, what, 15 armor? Yeah, it's completely insane.
It's actually 15, yes. And late game, if you're EG, you gotta go up against Team RG. You have the ding-de-ding from Ogre.
Yeah.
You have the bash from Slardar. You have the bash from Void. And Ember, also pretty well-known RG hero later on in the game. So MVP are gonna have some pretty scary stuff. Oh, look at QO, the nerves going in and trying to steal Ancients here, but
That's pretty ballsy.
this is not something that
Yeah,
EG
that
will
vision.
have.
I actually feel as though, like, the item progression is so much slower for EG right now on the heroes that they need it to be quickly, or if they need it to be quicker on, like the Storm Orchid timing. I mean, Q is going to be pretty much BKB by the time the Orchid's finished, right? Or at least have the Overclub and the Mythic. So
yes, there will be a very limited timing window.
How much are they going to get out of this? Do they buy it solely for the Ember? And I mean, sure, it still works in the Ember and the Void, but I think QO is going to be a huge issue for Arteezy in this game.
I think so.
Because all you do is you just pop BKB and just tunnel vision run at the Storm. And what does Arteezy do? Like, he pulls, and then he has to hope that his team disables a BKB target.
Top lane. So aggressive.
Yeah.
But that's very true, that's very true. The fish is going to be hard to deal with. Fish, meanwhile, bottom on this tower also crushing it. Forcing out a glyph at least. Taking a lot of damage, so maybe with the stomp they can do something, but it misses.
Yeah, he dodges it with the sprint. He's Cyclone there, but Q is still last hitting this tower.
Regarding the slower item progression of EG, overall their last hits are not that bad. Like, overall. And the gold is only 700 advantage for MVP total. But Naga is soaking up a lot of fun. And how much do you value that farm? A little bit of a chase here, but I think he's going to be fine.
Ooh, that was close. I don't know actually if the auto attack would have killed him.
Nah,
but it would have been close.
He would have lived from one auto attack at least. But the farm on Naga just seems like it's hindering your course from shining a little bit. Because there would be more farm for everyone else if she did not have these 63 CS.
It kind of depends on what farm you're taking, you know what I mean? Like, if you're taking the farm that is the easy farm and your Storm didn't have an Orchid, then I would say yes, it could be a little bit detrimental, but maybe they're just thinking that Zai is going to be relied upon a little bit more during the late game, because you can Song during the Slardar, or during the Slardar's BKB, right? You can Song the Sphere, and being able to push out lanes is actually something they kind of need right now. I mean, look at the map. The lanes are pretty much all shoved towards EG except for bottom. So, I mean...
That's true, but it does hurt them at this stage of the game to soak up so much farm on Naga's turn instead, I believe. Obviously later on it would be sweet to have a farm up Naga as opposed to having just a support Naga. But I think she can do a lot, like TF3 style, do a lot even from just a support role.
Yeah.
AGM showed it so many times with the Heaven's Halberd build on a support Naga, how he can just walk in very tanky top lane. Now should be an attempt here by MVP. Can they catch out the Storm?
I think they can. Arteezy not going to be able to ball out of this one. Rising going in, gets one multicast. The bashes are real. He's not going to be able to get away. Just gets killed.
Yeah, he is just dead to that. There's really nothing you can do when you get jumped by that, because Storm doesn't ball away that fast. And the chrono goes up really quickly. Bottom lane, an attempt here on QO. They might just kill him. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's dead, I think. There's the ensnare, and goodbye.
So blink clap was really key there as well. Else, of course, the fish could just blink out himself.
Lots of little trades going on here.
Tower is under attack.
I think maybe if he had just sprinted like directly down after the crush instead of throwing out another ability, he might have been able to get out of range of the magic missile, but could be close.
Yeah, staying for the crush or for the amplify after crushing is definitely, you know, that's not the best time spent when you're trying to survive a gank, but I still think he was in a very bad spot because of the end snare being available. Even the Song, to be honest, she could have just used that if they really wanted to kill him. 4F here, has to be a little bit careful.
He's doing his best to get the man impression right now. Just playing as aggressive as possible, but I like it because most Ember Spirit players will play like this, like they'll just play aggressively, take the dangerous farm, always have retreat remnants out to make sure that if anything goes wrong, you don't actually get punished for it, and Ember is one of the best heroes in the business of that kind of stuff.
Definitely. And right now, getting some nice and very, very important deep wards here into the enemy jungle. I think this ward that they have in the Radiant jungle is going to be important for EG, and of course, same thing also on MVP.
Arteezy is just flying all over the place right now, just using all his mana to run away from all the cores of MVP.
Yeah. So Zai is definitely going for the Radiance next. After these Drum Aquila builds, there's nothing else that he really wants. And yeah, I think he did buy a smoke there and drop in base. But other than that, he's just playing like a carry right now.
I mean, it's dangerous to get complacent I think, if you're MVP, because clearly they're controlling the pace of the game. Like, they're the ones always making EG react to them. They're pushing out the lanes as hard as they can, but there will come a point when Zai gets that Radiance, and when Arteezy gets another item, if it's going to be like BKB or if it's going to be Bloodstone, either way, he's going to be tankier in the team fights. He'll be able to use his mana more liberally to be in a better position. And when BKB starts running out, it seems like I might be talking about that a bit early, as Kyo doesn't even have his BKB yet. But when you get to 5-second BKB, Storm becomes a lot stronger.
Yeah, that is really true, but BKB, multiple BKB build on MVP, I think are going to keep them just safe here. And the timing on Orchid was really late, and he thus decided to not go for any gank with it. He's going to try top now, silencing 4. This is going to be an attack that will succeed.
Orchid damage kills him there. Briefcase helping seal the deal. Or a staple, whichever you want to call it. They're going to find QO. What the heck is he doing over here?
Speaking of minus armor, he had minus 15 armor on him there. Because of Elder Titan and just a Wave of Terror. If the Riptide was there faster as well, it would have been even more. Well, actually, the other way around. But
that
plenty of minus armor.
That was sloppy from MVP, I think.
Yeah, they're losing one more. Witch Doctor should definitely die here. No way to get out. So that started out by not respecting the Storm. You can't farm, and this is what MVP did yesterday as well. You can't farm right outside a tier 3 tower against a team that can punish you with hexes or silences.
At least they're doing it now at 24 minutes instead of
62 minutes in, yes.
I mean, still, I would argue that the positioning right now on the side of MVP is not so great. Game's gonna get spotted here. Orchid being used. Is he gonna backtrack anything? Universe even helping out
so
with
much.
Spirit, yeah.
I mean, it may not look like it deals that much damage to him, but every single punch from Arteezy there hurts so much. So definitely EG finding everything they want and suddenly definitely back in the game.
I think this is one of those situations where hubris can be your downfall, you know, if you're MVP.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was necessarily that per se, but it was just like QO clearly like way out of position, especially after he saw that 4F got ganked and just ends up giving away another kill in addition to that. And then March being on the enemy's high ground, like...
I'm gonna go as far as to say that 4F was the one making the bigger mistake though. Standing right outside after having, you know, seen the Storm Spirit jump away, you knew he was farming the big camp with your ward. And, oh, actually, never mind that now as they're trying to gank this.
Fear, nice reaction time. Wow. Out though, the cast to follow it up, the swap from PPD, gonna keep him alive, gets amplified up.
Soul stacked,
We're doing some damage. They're gonna get a 2-man stomp here. They're gonna go for Earthstone, rise in the clap, and the pull back in. They will be able to get one kill on the Ogre. March being chased down. Now here comes Arteezy with the Orchid. A couple of auto attacks. Should be able to secure that pretty easily. Searing Chain hits on 2, but not much to follow it up.
MVP so greedy, missing that, like the crush with Slardar, blinking to the wrong way and then still committing to the chase. I don't think you get that kill, especially against a team with Nagasar and Vengeful. Either there's going to be a song or a swap. So they just really wanted to get that kill, I guess.
The cool thing is I'm pretty sure there's a void behind him, so really good awareness there. Why would
Arteezy is dead.
Yeah, the Bash Lords are chasers. And seems 4Ever's gonna go for a beacon as well onto Ember. Does not want to get caught out by the Orchid anymore. So they're gonna have to try BKB build. Maybe, yeah, okay, Void might get delayed a little bit as it's very likely he goes for a Maelstrom instead.
That Void head.
Yeah.
That's some Call of Cthulhu stuff. He's got like a drawn-on face.
It's the primal form of the tentacular Time Lord.
Oh, nice.
In case you want it.
Thank you.
That is a ridiculous name.
Yeah.
I'm actually angry at that name. Song actually being popped here.
I think it's a runaway song.
Yeah, could be. Did he run so far away?
Okay, he wants to dive in.
Sphere. This should be a kill, maybe? Here comes the Yules in the universe. Blake Crush coming in from QO to stop him from going out of stop.
So well.
Yeah, BKB popped by QO. He turns around, wants to try to kill Zai. That's going to be a death before the Radiance is finished. Definitely hurting him. Looks like 4Ev is spending some time in the air here. The rest of EG nearby. QO thinking about trying to counter-initiate with a stun, but he's not going to be able to get in position for it. Ryzen getting his stun. Which I could be safe there as well.
Yes, it's not ready. Gonna go for a stun on PPD. Starter does pull down on the Storm, and I think that if you're overcommitting here.
Yeah, chasing PPD down.
I mean, this is so much greed for getting one support kill, and then you get punished really hard by EG.
I think every time fights like that happen, The only thing that could have went better for EG is if somebody else besides Zai died, because he didn't have his Radiance yet. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a 30-minute Radiance is not all that impressive, but we have to remember this started off as a 4-position Naga. Yeah. So, that being said, pretty darn good. EG going to be able to open up the Roshan opportunity. They do have a Vlad, so...
28-minute Bloodstone,
yeah. He gets the Bloodstone after the Orchid, so in the end, going for the same item build. Just different order.
I think the Orchid made sense against the Ember.
Yes, the Orchid was not to get aggressive ganks going himself. It was just to rely on MVP making mistakes, and he did punish them.
Yeah.
So he definitely needed Orchid.
Especially given that we saw MVP, like you said yesterday, being willing to put the Ember so far up like that, in danger. If you can catch him out with it.
Well, it's kind of those heroes' job, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're not going to find solo kills, you have to be worth your weight, more or less. And you get prioritized in a lane, so then you start farming the position that no one else can farm but you, to give the rest of your team a chance to stay relevant in their item progression. So I think it is risky, obviously. And
but what does Slark need here now? He's got Blink Big QP. Armlet?
You mean Slardar?
Slardar.
A lot of people go AC for the armor aura. I would say that's a really good choice. Sometimes Slardars even build Vlads just against heroes like EP, and I don't think anybody else on the team is going to buy him. Blink Crush coming out from QO, he does have a BKB.
Stomp and
They're just gonna, yeah.
I wouldn't be sad to see him go for either Vlads or Armlet. They're gonna keep chasing here, trying to catch anything, but again, very directly outside the space. What a dodge! He dodges the stun. Very nice.
Oh, he gets his spear on too. Universe and PPD caught inside. Arteezy actually PP is inside of the sphere. Not taking much damage though. Magic Missile gonna stun Heen. They definitely want to try to get something out of this. He's going south. He wants to try to find QO. They're gonna be tiny bit off the mark for him. Coming in from the back as QO drops. March. Needing a pull here. No mana left in Arteezy. He's gonna get swapped to safety. PPD swapping and gonna get stun off the secure kill on the March. Here comes the Bash Lord. He's taking out PPD after a few attacks for it. Going to his Spirit in middle lane will be safe at the time being. Ends up being 2 for 2.
Yeah, 2 for 2, but that's 2 Bloodstone charges towards the Storm as well, and getting up to 10, you know, Storm, if you ever go Bloodstone, you want to get the early fights going for you as soon as you complete it, and that's what he gets.
Dire's bottom tower is
also,
under attack.
it's 2, I'm not gonna say it's 2 supports anymore, because Zai obviously is a core Naga at this point.
Heen wants to become the Bash Lord. He wants to become the Storm Herald.
Just click your Mask of Madness and hope.
And just hope, yeah.
Pray to the RNG lords. Like,
he could be waiting for 4 actually.
To be honest, if you do it, you probably die to the 80s respawn of Storm and he chases you down and kills you. Oh, he's gonna block the spawn. That's cheeky.
Yeah, that is cheeky.
Also, he still has the Vengeance aura on himself. Now he just lost it. But he had it for quite a time there, so his damage was not too impressive. AC and Vlad's on Fear now. Made another pretty impressive recovery after having such a hard time.
I mean, you mentioned this too during the draft. If having Vlad's AC and an Elotite on your team,
yes,
your right clicks do so much. Doesn't even matter what hero you are. Like, they have Avenge on top of that.
You see it in every fight. Naga Siren as well. So the Minus Armor.
Yep.
So every single time they just try to mad fight, it seems the MVP are taking a reasonably high damage. And that's pretty much where you get. It's the build.
Question is, what is MVP's response to this? Like, the max aura basically coming in. I mean, what, it's 51% damage or around there for having the Vlads and the Vengeance aura coming out from the VS, so.
Well, it seems that it's gonna be an Armlet build on Slardar, I assume, or maybe even Lifesteal, not. Definitely Armlet, as he confirms it by buying his gloves of attack speed as well. But I don't know, man. Vlads would be really good to have. For,
I mean, he has no armor against ET, and he actually has minus, what, like 10, 11 armor or something like that from Riptide and the AC aura, so.
Oh, it's so much.
Oh, and
the wave
as well
wave of
from
terror.
Venge, yeah.
So already 11 by just Naga and Cole before gets caught out here.
He's double stun. Arteezy's actually going to be using his Aegis here. We'll be respawning shortly though. QO force spot the BKB. First player actually going to hit on Ryzen and QO ends up taking out the Slardar. Witch Doctor once again spending some time in the air as PPD's getting chased down by 4 and March just dying under his own tier 2. Heen comes in, throws out the Chronosphere, but Arteezy's so tanky and here comes Zai with the song. Heen stuck in place. There is an Orchid up on Arteezy, gets to comment straight away.
We are executing so well in this fight. It's really hard to win this. I mean, before I'm now trying to get away, but he jumps back. Okay, that's not what he wanted. He's out again, completely out of mana. And that's the 5 heroes dying for an Aegis only. And I have to agree with you, as you said yesterday, Andy. Storm, definitely the best Aegis carrier in the game, there's no doubt.
Yeah. Just being able to respawn and have that kind of mobility and reach, like, no matter how far away you run, the Storm will catch you.
Yeah.
You know, unless you start maybe super fast.
Maybe, but this pressure here definitely gonna take out ROG top lane, and they will probably just take both and then back. Of course, tier 2 towers are standing on the other lane, so nothing more to really gain here. And they might even take the mid tower if they want to now. They know the Chronosphere is down, but they also don't have split, so no shame in backing for EG here if they want to.
I don't really know what MVP's backup plan is, because the Void isn't really enough of a threat at this stage in the game. And QO, he's going to go in on Arteezy, just one dash here. Another dash!
Yeah, show the RNG Lord.
I think the other problem they've got is that even if they do get a Chronosphere on, say, Arteezy, you've got Swap, which we've seen, you've got Song, which we've seen.
And ET.
It's really, really, really difficult for them to actually lock anybody down.
Even the Yule Scepter or Stomp from ET as well. I mean, he has saved people twice with the Yule Scepter at least.
Yeah.
And EG gonna go for a smoke now from their base. They're smoking up with the Storm and Universe. That's more than enough to kill pretty much anyone if they get the vision on them first. So the backup plan, to answer your question, Andy, I think it's just RNGesus. I don't think you have a firm, like, this is how we're gonna come back into the game, because you don't have, like, you don't have a push, you don't have that secure late game, you can farm.
It's very difficult.
Easier controlling the lanes with a Storm, you can kill anyone really from very far.
And you've got Nagasiren with a Radiance.
It's very true.
So it's bots.
And bots.
Oh, they're going on forward here, the silence is there. BKB being used. Still punching hard though.
This is one of those scenarios where we used to see people like Tiny and stuff against Void teams.
Oh, they see Ogre, they're gonna go in.
And force that forward. Arteezy just
A
comes
million miles away.
uses all his mana, gets a pull off.
Gets a charge though.
15 charges.
It's starting to get to that fountain region on
Is there a limit on the number of charges you can have?
You can have any number you want, Ted. That's the beauty of being a core player.
And then you buy more
One
Bloodstones.
day, Wagga, I will know these things.
Yes. I had a 53 charges Bloodstone one, so it was godlike. For that
Actually, it was
200 mana per
probably
second.
beyond godlike.
Yeah,
Radiant's
it was
bottom tower
probably.
is under attack.
I think so. So tier 2 dropping here.
I like the build from Fear. He's not going to Divas next,
Radiant's
just be the
bottom
Aura
tower
Lord.
has fallen.
You know, they already have Radiance, but if they didn't, he would run Divas, so that's wrong.
Don't leave up dropping. 4M gets a slight fist off from long distance.
That's, you know, sort of worth. And getting kills when you're behind is definitely gonna give you a lot of gold. So 15,000 behind in gold as they get that kill. But, you know.
Wow.
I think there's something really important to note. Like, the way that EG play their cores is, a lot of the times they actually make mid players buy the aura items. Like, let's look at MVP, for example. They have, like, no AC, no Vlads, they don't have any auras pretty much at all.
Yes.
And then on the side of EG, you have 2 damage auras, one of course from the Venge, one from the Vlads, AC, and you have Elder Kind. There's just so many different things that allow you to
And they
fight.
have the bongos.
Yeah, they have drums as well. We're going to see a kill here.
Yeah.
On the bottom lane as March ends up dropping, but I think it's a really smart way to play it, because normally you don't get those items until a bit later if you're getting it on even offlaners or supports.
Yeah.
And it makes your team scaling just tremendous as opposed to whatever you're playing against an MVP.
This EG draft is a draft that you can look at and actually just think about that. How well does it scale? Okay, you have the Vengeful Aura, you have the drums and Vlads and AC built. You're also going for the Shivas already. Wave of Terror works really well into the late and mid game. You have Riptide also for even more. And Ancestral Spirit from Elder Titan. All of it just giving so much that even a Storm with right clicks can act as a carry. So sometimes a Storm, you find yourself not dealing that much with right click, and Arteezy playing pretty aggressive here. Getting caught up though. Might go down here. Should actually. Oh, nice. What a chrono.
That's beautiful.
That was a very good chrono.
I mean, he's only dead for 20 seconds, but still.
The other
Well,
thing
he
is,
paid.
if you think about the fact they've got Nagasiren as well, started off, as you said, as a 4. If the game goes long, you've suddenly got a Radiance Nagasiren running around with money. It's like an additional problem.
Yeah, definitely got 3,300 experience from that kill and 1,700 gold. So
Nice.
pretty happy is MVP. But I think that's where EG's drafts, you know, these kind of things. Sure, you can have good core players, but you have to respect that this is a well thought out draft as well from EG.
I really like it. I think this is maybe one of the, well, maybe one of my favorite drafts that I've seen so far in Phase 2.
Yeah.
Because you look at it at face value and it's like, okay, yeah, you got ET, you got Brew, but the way that they actually decided to go for it and the way that they built was really cool to me.
And it's going to be an Aghanims on Universe. He has it in 250 gold, and that's amazing, really. When he gets that, he can stop the Void, Slardar, or Ember from hitting even during BKB, which is crazy strong, but we very rarely see it being used, because normally after the 4-staff and Yules, you go Shivas. This game, though, as you said, the mid laner, get him to build your items.
He's pretty much got them all, almost. I mean,
could even be a Hex, though, on Brewmaster.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate Hex, actually.
Would be good as well.
And Roshan responds once again. Gem gonna be purchased by MVP so they can do some D-warding right now, but welcome back, big boy. I think this Aegis, if it is gonna be Hex, he'll just buy it. Or no, he's buying Lincolns.
Is it? Or MVP?
Yeah,
He's
he's
gonna
got a
try and
perseverance.
come in here?
That's very interesting.
Roshan has fallen to the dark.
I mean, I guess Lincolns is still fine. Smoke here from MVP. They're thinking about trying to go in. There's a counter smoke as well. Keen going into Hex before he can throw out the ultimate. No spear going to be used just yet. He's working to follow up. Still not able to use his spear. Keen just ends up dying. The Earth Splitter hits on 3 of the MVP. Ryzen trying to TP away. The song cancel. Arteezy comes back in, even with amplify damage. Still has his Aegis up. I think this is pretty much the beginning of the end here for MVP. They're not even going to get a single kill. And they even take out one hero. The BKB QO cannot take down a single enemy.
Oh my god.
Well, everyone is so damn tanky, you know? Like, who is the easiest to kill on their team when they run together? Even Vengeful is sitting at over 20 armor. Elder Titan has over 20 armor, pretty much. I mean, when they're stacking up, they're just too hard to kill. 30 armor Brewmaster. And GG gets called by MVP.
That was a fantastic performance from EG.
Yeah, very solid display. Kind of what we were expecting to see out of EG. Like, just come in, have not necessarily like an easy time, but they never really lost control, I think. You know, and that game especially, I feel as though their lineup functioned well throughout the whole game, but they even had a good start. So
yeah, well, definitely MVP had the better chance in game 1.